I want to keep this conversation natural and talk about the experiences because all of you here are marketing strategists and already know the main trends of Facebook, Instagram, and I don't want to talk about those. I want to give insights about what we are doing and what we are finding useful for our companies so we can learn from our experiences all together, and I would like to touch on those points. So, what is connected commercial strategy and what do we mean by it? Marketers need to pay attention to innovations in this industry that are happening continuously. Because as you all know, what we know in the past month changes every day. What we tried and got feedback from 6 months ago might not be the correct way to lead our campaigns now. Because Facebook, Instagram, they all change their strategies, their innovations and their technology. So a marketer should keep an eye on what's going on and always improve themselves. And second, emotional experience within the industry is really, really important. Whatever you do, whatever you provide, needs to be connected with the customer itself. If they don't feel connected to the brand or the product or the service, then they will not be a client for a long term. And I know many people in the industry, companies, I'm sure you are hearing this a lot too, they want to sell more, but sell immediately, and they don't think about the future sales. They just want to make that person buy their product, and that's it. But actually, it's not. You need to get connected with them, make them feel emotions to your firm, so they can stay loyal, and you can actually have a more return in the future. And the next is connected marketing campaign. We release coordinated, trackable, high-quality content. You need to track everything that you are doing. So whatever you do, you need to be collecting data, and you need to be using that data to plan out more strategies and make sure you are reaching out to that data back again because that's your potential target audience right there. Website clicks, engagements, you need to be looking at those data all the time. Without knowing how much engagement you're getting or how much clicks you are getting to your website, how can you predict future? How can you predict future campaigns? That is actually impossible, but because companies sometimes put pressure on the marketers, marketers believe that data is not important, and what our clients want is more prioritized. Actually, it's not. We need to lead them based on the data, so actually they can receive feedback and achieve success. And another main topic to increase revenue while using connected marketing strategies is responding to desire. What do I mean by that? So let's say you like the color of blue and you're using this blue color all over your designs because that's what you like, and when you look at it, that's what you think is the right way to do the advertisement. But in reality, you need to analyze what your target audience is, what they are likely to engage with, and what they are finding interesting throughout the social media. So let me give an example from what we're doing. Like I said, we are a company located in Cyprus and Turkey, and it's completely different. Cyprus is a small island in Mediterranean, which has a different social dynamics compared to Turkey, because Turkey has a population of 90 million, whereas Cyprus has 500,000 people. So the way you do the advertising is completely different because people want different stuff. In Cyprus, people want more personalized ads. They want to feel welcomed, and they want to feel that company is actually talking to them, reaching out to them personally, instead of just doing the mass informative ads. But in Turkey, people are looking more about the benefit. What is this ad providing to me? They don't care about the sentence structure or the content. They are more looking into the outcome of it. So you need to understand your target audience and where your companies are going to be active at. So then from that point, you can move on and plan out a better strategic planning based on the desire that customers are having. And how to put these strategies on the paper. So again, let me give an example. So we have lots of companies that are in the industry of real estate and construction. And the main thing that we actually get from the construction companies are, oh, I want to be seen all over the world. And they're giving some examples of companies located near them and saying, oh, this company is doing that company is doing that. And they're thinking that the other construction companies located in Cyprus are their competitors. But however, that's not true. If you are trying to sell a house, sell a building, or sell a residence all over the world, then your competitors are in Dubai as well, in London as well, in other countries as well, because you're reaching out globally now. Your target audience is located in different countries, and when they are looking at your project, they're going to compare it with other projects all around the world. So they need to understand what customer wants there. If they are looking for a residence in an island, then okay, maybe your competitors can be from Cyprus too. But if they're just looking for an apartment, for a villa to invest their money in, then your competitors are completely different and your target audience changes. So you need to respond to their desire based on your analysis. Which channels are best to use to communicate your ideas? What we found out is in Cyprus, you need to use Facebook and Instagram. There's no Twitter. There's no LinkedIn advertisement. But in Turkey, it's the opposite. In Turkey, people use Twitter and Instagram, not Facebook. And also, it depends on what you're advertising as well. Let's say you're an accounting firm, and you want people to reach out to you based on, setting up a company in Cyprus. Then you will target them from, let's say, Google or social media, Facebook. You're in an informative finance sector, so your post will actually include lots of information. And do people care about information on Instagram? Based on my experiences, they don't, because Instagram is used more for visual appearances and for photos mostly. So that's not the best channel to actually promote your ideas or your advertisements because that's not where the channel is suited for you. So then you need to go look at Facebook. And yes, based on my experience, people do respond more on Facebook compared to Instagram to informative advertisements. So you need to look at those, analyze them, and make sure you're giving your companies, your clients, all the data so they can actually see the differences. Just saying that Instagram doesn't cut it, but Facebook does, will not be enough. You need to show them your data, you need to explain them why and how to actually go over it and campaign their product. Identifying data. This is another important topic that I want to touch on. Understanding what people are actually engaging with and using that to advertise them is really crucial in order to gain success and increase revenue. Because without having the data and identifying it, it wouldn't be enough to grow your sales. Let's say you've done a Google AdWords for a month and you gained 1,000 clicks on your website. That is brilliant. But is that enough? You've just done a campaign for a month and that's it? We finished? No. We need to collect the data. We need to actually analyze that data so we can continuously reach out to that 1,000 people again. Because that's our target audience. They showed interest on our ad, they clicked on it, and they went to our website, which makes them potential customers for the company that we are advertising for. And on top of that, we need to keep on advertising so that 1,000 becomes 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. And while we're doing this, we should be keeping the data and continuously reaching back out to them. So we are not going back to 0 and 1,000, 0 and 1,000, but we're actually building some potential customer base that can be used a year, 5 years, or 10 years for the future. Moreover, like I said, we are, as marketers, need to keep an eye on technology. Technology is changing all the time. 2 years ago, what we knew was true is irrelevant now because everything's changed. And new artificial intelligence are coming in, and we need to be able to adapt to new situations. Now, watches do keep data, and refrigerators, cars, door cameras, lights, everything is actually now starting to collect data. Let's say you're in a construction business again. And by knowing how much time people do turn the lights on, you can estimate how much time they spend in the house. And based on that, maybe you can innovate your projects. Maybe you can develop new devices to go and add value to that project. So all this is really valuable, and data should be kept whatever you do, wherever you do. It doesn't matter which channel you use, and should be developed for further strategies. Connected marketer. Like I said, we are all marketers here, and that's why I wanted to, talk more about my experiences and what we are doing as a company, and what we are actually observing from our clients. Again, I would like to give an example about how a marketer should approach, and what we are doing and what we are observing is working best for us. So when you meet with a client, I'm sure you're all having this. They come to you for strategies, but at the end, they're trying to implement their strategies to you. So you're a little forced to actually take into consideration of what they want instead of what you think is the right way to do it. So in order to change that or lead them in the correct way, again, experiences are the most valuable thing that you can present to them. You can be really good at your job, but without showing them what you have done in the past, you cannot convince them what they should be doing. Again, in this sector, data comes in hand. You need to show them what you've done, what you achieved, so they can understand why you want to implement that strategy to their campaign. Because when you're doing campaigns globally, just your thoughts or opinions might not be enough to convince your client and their department who is in charge of marketing. And moreover, using single channel and multiple channels. I know some of my clients, which are restaurants or small shops, they don't want to spend too much money. So they are more willing to select only one channel to be active on, which can be Instagram, which can be Facebook, which can be Google. It doesn't matter. The first thing I tell them is, what is your goal? First of all, I need to understand their goal, because if the goal is to reach out to everyone who lives in Cyprus, you cannot achieve that by a single channel. You need to use connected marketing strategy. You need to be able to advertise on multiple channels, because your target audience is not a specific age group either. It can be from 18 to 22, it can be 25 to 35, or older. It can be everyone. So you need to understand which age group is active on which channel. And you need to combine them all, have a 360 marketing strategy, so you do not miss out any people. And you make sure that the brand or company itself is visible to everyone on every channel. That's actually a power move too. If people see you on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Google, what are they going to think? They're going to say, yes, this company is well organized, this brand is well organized, I see them everywhere, so they have a strong foundation. This is the idea that actually gives out to the potential customers. So we should always keep that in mind, that single channel will not be enough if you're not a specific firm that concentrates on a very niche market. If you're concentrating on a very niche market, let's say you're concentrating on a small amount of professionals in a business sector, then maybe only being active on LinkedIn might be enough for you. But in most cases, 90%, it will not be enough, and you need to understand that multiple channels are needed, and you need to make sure your client understands how to implement those strategies into their marketing ideas. I'm sorry. Yes, so to summarize everything that we've discussed, like I said, I'm not talking about something new that you didn't know before. I'm just, I want to share my experiences and what I'm facing within the industry, so we can understand each other and how the things work in different countries, because I think that's the most valuable thing that we can gain, understanding other insights and other perceptions of marketing specialists in the different countries. So to summarize, integrating new marketing channels into your strategy is crucial. You cannot be doing the same thing over and over again. If we go into the simple area of, let's say graphic design, you might have created a design that got lots of engagements before, but if you continuously keep creating the same design all the time, over and over again, you will see the decrease in your numbers. Because people get used to it, and because they think it's the same idea and same design, they will start skipping it on their social media and pay less attention. So make sure you're changing your themes, changing your content all the time. Boost your analytics, keep track of conversion data. So what do I mean by that? We did a good campaign. Let's say we have a product, new launching product, and we just launched it. And we got great feedback. We sold out. But if we didn't keep data, what are we going to do in the next campaign? It's just going to be the same, guessing what might work. But actually, we already have something that works. So if we had the data, we know who our potential customers are. We know what we did correct, what we did wrong. And we can actually look at those data and use the same strategy by adjusting it to the new environmental factors and actually keep on achieving success more. Staying creative is another point to summarize. We need to be creative. Trends are changing. There's TikTok, there's other influencers. They're creating different kinds of videos. We need to keep an eye what's popular, and we need to understand that we can use those popular themes to actually gain more public awareness. By gaining public awareness, we can increase our sales, we can develop new strategies to implement, and we can actually grow our revenue. And the last one, which is, I think, the most important part that people miss out a lot, is focusing on customer needs. You need to first identify your unique selling point and what your customer needs. So without analyzing those, you cannot implement any campaigns. You need to know what differentiates yourself, your product, your service. It can be anything from your competitors. And you need to know that if this unique selling point is attractable to your potential target audience. If you can write these down, if you know these for each company that you are doing marketing for, then you will have a good start. And on top of it, by building on the ideas, you can have a much better, much detailed route path to success and helping your clients, companies, increasing their revenues. Well, thank you for all listening. Like I said, I wanted to keep it more about experiences and what we're doing, what we are seeing going right and wrong in our companies, and would like to meet you all at some point of this conference. Thank you.
Do we have any questions from the audience? We do have a couple of minutes. Does one want to runner? Put your trainers on, get going. Haven't given them enough Red Bull today. What to say?
Hello, thank you so much for such valuable input. My name is Aditi NC, and I'm the founder of the Social Unicorns, a content and digital marketing agency. I tend to work with a lot of startups. I wanted to know if you also work with startups.
With who?
Startups.
Startups, yeah.
So what kind of challenges do you face when, onboarding a startup client, probably two of the challenges you can name and the solution. How do you deal with that?
So when a new company is entering a market, did I get it right?
Yes, absolutely.
So the main problem that we're having is actually setting up their brand identity.
Right.
Because first of all, they say, oh, these are my colors and I want a minimalistic approach. Okay, let's do that. Let's implement that to our designs, our corporate identity areas. Okay, let's do that. But after few weeks, they start saying, oh, we need more information on top of there. We need more colors to attract people there. Okay, but that's not the beginning part of the
Exactly,
creation.
yes.
So that's what we face the most, one of the negative sides of it. Because once they start changing it after a few weeks, everything changes.
Right,
All the
there's no
plan,
clarity.
all the strategy, all the impression that you want to make on their target audience changes. So that's probably it.
All right, thank you so much.
Any other
Thank you.
questions? We've probably got time for one really, really quick one. Put your hands up. Oh, there's one over here, down the front, next to our cameraman. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this fruitful lecture. I'm Hiba from Perpetual Agency from Bahrain. I have a question from your experience. You said that for informative ads, it's better to put it in Facebook. Can you please give us any example from your experience? Thank you.
That's actually a great question. I didn't go into much detail because of the time limits and everything. But I can actually talk about real estate sector for the informative part. When we do advertising on Instagram, people do not comment and people do not ask for further information. And we tried this with probably over 40, 50 real estate companies, both in Cyprus, Turkey, and both different countries. And when we do this on Facebook, people are actually more willing to text you personally to get more information. And the reason why we think that this happens is when people go on Facebook, they are on the Facebook to actually get more information. Read the news, read what's new in the global news, and they're actually more open to absorbing information. So when they see something informative, they're more willing to respond. But on Instagram, people use Instagram for more social purposes. So they're there to see their friends or post something that they're doing, or maybe fashion works really well on Instagram. Instagram is the best way to promote fashion based on our experiences because it involves visual aspects. But for the informative part, I think it's the mentality that people have when they're going through those channels.
Thank you so much. Uraz,